garbage can on fire?
Pour them down the sink.
Pour them down the sink. What if they would blow up in the drain?
Give them a you.
Yeah. All of those are good answers, but you don't know which one to use first. So,
Well, I know you don't put it back in the sink.
right, you do not put it back in the same container. That is correct. So ask your teacher, because sometimes they could go down the drain, sometimes they can't go in the garbage can. Occasionally, I might recollect them. But first you ask the teacher how to get rid of it. We don't just throw things away where it's going to mix up with other stuff without knowing what we're doing. Alrighty, describe how to filter a solution properly. Well, what do we know about the filter paper? What size should that be?
Not go above the...
It should not go above the height of the funnel, so it doesn't overflow. And then when we're pouring from our beaker or flask into the filter paper, what do we do to make sure that stuff doesn't splash all over?
You make sure it's wet.
Don't fill the paper too much. Make sure the paper's a little wet to start with, but there was something in the picture. And I gave you the example at home, if you're at home making pasta sauce and you had to dump a bunch of liquid into your pot of pasta sauce.
Use the spatula or whatever.
Right, use that stirring rod. Put the stirring rod in the kitchen, you'd use a spoon, but you put the stirring rod against the lip of the beaker and pour that way. So that's a definite one to look at that first lab, because they've got a picture of that to show. It gives the liquid a path to follow, so it doesn't splash and drip all over. Alrighty, how do we use a Bunsen burner properly? Well, you guys did great on telling me how to light it on your quiz. Some people forgot to tell me how to turn off the flame, to put the flame out. And turn the gas off. What do you do if it starts to burn in the barrel?
Open the barrel.
Pardon? I didn't hear what you said.
Open it.
We don't want to open it,
Turn off the
because it's going to get hot.
Immediately turn off the gas.
Yeah, turn off the gas right away. So if the flame goes out on the top, but you can still see the little blue light down in the bottom, it's going to be too hot to touch, and it's producing carbon monoxide, so you're just going to shut the gas off. That happens because, you know, stuff drips down in the burner and clogs the opening. So. Alrighty, explain the importance of an MSDS. Good thing we did that today. What does an MSDS sheet tell us? It tells you what the chemical is and what else did you say? If it's harmful. And if it is harmful, then in what way? Should you not touch it? Should you not breathe it? Should you not eat it? So it gives you all the safety information and health effects of any chemical we have. On a chemical label, we had that little pamphlet where we were looking at the different labels with that red, white, blue, and yellow. What's the number that indicates this is not a harmful chemical at all?
Top one, red.
Oh, I'm sorry, just the number value.
0.
0. 0 means it's not a risk for whichever category it's in. Means 0 isn't bad. What is the worst it could be on these symbols? 4. It goes from 0 to 4. So we have 0 is minimal, 1 is slight, 2 is moderate, 3 is serious, and 4 is severe. So we only go from 0 to 4. Alrighty. Let me throw another one in there. What safety rules should you follow when you're lighting a burner?
Don't stick your head over the flame.
Don't stick your head over the flame, yes. What else? You with the long hair. Yeah, tie your hair back. Of course, we're going to have our goggles on, right? And what else did I tell you to move out of the way?
Goggle bag.
Yeah, your goggle baggies. Keep anything that could catch fire out of the way. All right, the last 2 questions are short answer. And one is going to ask you about theory, hypothesis, and law. like we talked about today, and you're going to need to explain how they're different, what each of them does and how they're different. And observations tie theories, laws, and hypotheses together. So you should be able to tell me how observations are a part of a theory, how they're part of a law, how they're part of a hypothesis. I would start with the definitions, and then, just a sentence or so that shows me how they're linked together. And the last question on the test is about estimation. And it will ask you, it'll give you a common everyday life scenario, like you're going shopping or something. And think about how much money you have to take with you and what you need to buy. And identify the knowns and unknowns. Okay, so you're looking at variables and what you can control and what you can't. That one's actually really easy, but when people miss it, it's because they don't give enough specifics in their answer. Like, it's such a common everyday life example that you just assume when you're talking to somebody that they know what you're talking about. But when you're writing down your answer, make sure you extend it to be complete. Yep.
What are synthetic fuels?
Synthetic fuels are like man-made gasoline, oil, engineered products that are not just a derivative by separating crude oil. Okay, so compounds that are synthesized in the lab, made in the laboratory. So how hard do you think this is going to be? Yeah, it should be pretty easy. And I think you will see the benefit of having taken this half-hour practice. Okay, I appreciate you coming. You're welcome.